got Dope Air that you print up. You print up Livewire. You print up Filthy, right? You print up Filthy clothes. You print up. Who are some of the other big brands locally that you
Planting the Grapes?
Planting the Grapes.
Planting the Grapes, and we also got Oakland's Own.
Oakland's Own.
Yeah, he been rocking with us for a minute, real consistent. And then, you know, when Beastmode was doing his thing, we was doing all the Beastmode stuff. Marshawn, you know what I mean? Andre Ward with the Son of God, and you know, it's a lot of different big brands, you know.
Like Black New World.
Yeah, Black New World, you know what I mean? Block Report Radio, you understand me?
You know what I'm saying? Huge brands. What you were saying about the huge brands, keep it going. Keep it going.
Straight up. But yeah, you know, it's a lot of them though. It's a lot. We work with a lot of different brands, a lot, you know what I mean? And I know it's going to be a lot I ain't going to be able to remember, but the main, I ain't going to say the main ones, but you know.
Some of
the big ones. But the one who's been with me the longest though is Planting the Grapes, you know what I'm saying? So we've been rocking with Jess since he started, well, a year after he started, you know what I mean? And that was in 09 or something like that, you know what I mean? And we still, we doing some stuff for him today, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So when I be coming in, you be talking about different shit, like I just got the print. You told me I need to step it up to the, and what you call that,
that's that big embroidery right here.
Embroidery,
yeah. Applique.
So do that really make a difference? Tell me why they make a difference selling wise. Why do people care, and why can you make more from that hoodie than you can from this hoodie?
Well, first off, let's start off with what brand you are. Because, you know, if Louis Vuitton was selling that shirt, they'd be making way more than if this was dipped in gold, you feel me, from another brand. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So it's really about your brand and how much power your brand commands, you know what I mean? But say for instance, everything is equal, then, you know, you put a screen print down, you put some embroidery with some applique, you ain't got to tell the customer which one is a better product. You know what I mean? If you take the name of the brand off, you just look at the actual decoration method, the customer gonna automatically touch this and feel this and know that this right here is different from this right here. You feel me? And so screen print is our bread and butter. We do a whole bunch of screen printing, but embroidery is what separates you from the rest of the pack. So screen print is not entry level, but it's damn near is. You know what I mean? But embroidery is not a lot of people that get a lot of embroidery. Now it is, you know what I mean? But still, say for instance, you had 10 brands. Out of those 10 brands, 8 of them gonna have some screen, 10 of them gonna have something screen printed, but maybe half of them have screen print and embroidery in their lineup. You know what I mean? Then you start talking about Chanel, and you start talking about 3D puff, you start talking about applique with different materials, you're gonna have 1 or 2. You know what I mean?
So that's different ways that this can be coming off, the logo can be coming off the shirt.
Exactly, different methods. So, you know, screen printing is entry level like I was doing in my garage. You feel me? Had a little press, spun 600 and it worked for it. Now embroidery machine, you're gonna spend you some racks, depending on which one you get. You know what I mean? It's not the entry ain't the same as screen print. I can start and we can screen print in here. All it needs is a screen in this table. We can print some shirts. You feel me? Embroidery, nah, you got to spend you a couple of dollars, you know what I mean? And the learning curve is not as easy as screen printing, you know what I mean? And the end result is going to be that you're going to be able to charge more for it, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you got a good brand, you got good artwork, you got a good mouthpiece, you know what I mean? You're going to be able to do some damage. You do damage with screen print, you do damage with vinyl, you know what I mean?
Hey, one of the big things you did since COVID, the pandemic, you did the big 250,000 hit. You know what I'm saying? Tell the people a little bit about why that was big for black business in the Bay and how you got that big contract. Tell us all about it.
All about it? All right, well, you know, during COVID, you know what I mean, that was the time for the real hustlers, you know what I'm saying? So if you stayed outside and you stayed working, you was gonna make you some money. I decided I was gonna stay outside, you know what I mean? I came from East Oakland, so, you know, I know it's a pandemic, but I didn't been hustling when it was an epidemic, you know what I mean? And so, you know, well, when the Black Lives Matter situation came up when they killed George Floyd, you know what I mean? We had this one company, I can't say their name, I signed the NDA, but they had a little controversy. Their controversy was their employees wanted to wear Black Lives Matter shirts to work, you know what I mean? And so for whatever reason, they told them that they couldn't. At least that's what it appeared to be. So when the media got wind of it, media was like, oh, what's going on? And so Acme was like, you know what? No, we didn't say that. we was just saying we making some Black Lives Matter shirts ourselves. We want you to wear the official Acme Black Lives Matter shirts. And like, all right, yeah, whatever. So they were scrambling, and one of the good things that they did was they said that they shirts had to be done by a black printer, right? And so when they said that their broker that they use, because you know brokers are the ones got these connects with these big corporations, they told their broker like, hey, these shirts got to be done, but they got to be done by a black printer. And they were like, what? A black printer? So they end up talking to some guy that I had just previously met at this trade show that we went to in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we met him and chopped it up with him. We kind of hit it off, you know. It was pretty cool. So they hit him up. It's like, hey, we need a black printer. He's like, you know what? I got one. And he hit us up and was like, hey man, I got a situation. It could be really big for you. I'm connected with the people. Boom, that's what he did. So they gave us a call. We had some Zoom meetings, and they was basically trying to vet us. And on a Sunday morning, they ended up calling on a Sunday and was like, all right, cool. So you know that project we was talking about? Okay, cool. It's 300,000 shirts. How many can you do? We were like, 300,000 shirts? When do you need them? 2 weeks. Is that right?
Wow.
2 weeks? Are you serious? You know what I mean? He was like, yep, how many can you do? So me and my wife had to have a big sit down and talk about what we can and what we can't do, realistically, right? And at this time, during COVID, we didn't shut down, so therefore we busy. We busier than ever. Not only was it, we had just previously hooked up our website, so our website was kicking in. We got a big following on Instagram. And so we was really, really pumping. So we already had it. Like the Dope Bear was rolling. Dope Bear was doing numbers too. Playing the Grapes was doing his biggest numbers at the time. You know what I mean? Oakland Zone was doing his biggest numbers at the time. Everybody who didn't go in the house was really doing their thing. And we had a lot of customers from all over the country, right? And so me and my wife had to talk about it. We argued, we screamed, we did all of that, and we came up with a number that was going to be 100,000. Right, and so when we finally see the artwork, it turned out that they got a print on the front, they got a print on the back, and they got a print on the sleeve. So that's 3 times we got to print the same shirt. So it ended up being 300,000 prints. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that came about. You know what I mean? And it was a really big deal, because I remember during the time when it was the Blackout Tuesday and all of that, and everybody was posting about black folks, and we really was meaning something at the time, right? And I would see all these different brands, all these streetwear brands with their Black Lives Matter t-shirts, and all these proceeds going here and these proceeds going there. And these companies, they weren't black companies. And I had to go on that page like, okay, y'all using a black printer to produce these? Is y'all using a black printer? I mean, that's cool, y'all doing y'all donations, but is y'all really, you know what I'm saying, using black printers, you know what I mean?